So I've done a few videos, obviously, on the whole marriage thing and relationships, just pondering stuff, working stuff through. Well, not working stuff through, just seeing things, I suppose. Um, and a lot of my stuff has been weighted on the role of the male and the responsibility of the male. And I don't know. I suppose it could be construed in a sense, sort of giving the lady a little bit of a freer ride. That's It's not what I've ever meant, and not what I've ever actually said. Um, the reality is, a relationship is it's two way, and a Christian relationship is actually three way because it's the two become one with Christ in the midst, and the Spirit of God in the midst, and the Spirit of God speaking to both parties, the Spirit of God interacting with both parties loving Jesus more than they love each other, and that's it's always him first, wife second, him first, husband second. But that's not a negative thing. That's an incredibly positive thing. One of the things that, well, I'm absolutely confident, one of the things that made our relationship between myself and Christine work, and it wasn't perfect, we had our challenges, but one of the things that made it work was the fact that I absolutely knew she completely loved Jesus so much more than she could ever love me. And hopefully she knew the same thing about me. And so it was the fact that it was a commonality in Christ, and it was the fact that he was first in both of our individual lives, and that actually is what allowed us to be first in each other's lives, in a sense. Again, it's hard to separate all the concepts, right? Because the two or the three have become one. So it's tricky. It's all merged and melded together. Um, But the reality is that any sort of a relationship, in particular marriage, because marriage is sort of that next level commitment. It's a serious commitment, isn't it? And it's actually work. So number one, the relationship to get to a point of marriage is actually work, and we think we find the ideal partner or the ideal person. That's great. And there may be aspects of truth in that. You may be 100% true. You've found the person that's absolutely perfect for you. But then the next challenge is for you to become perfect for them. Because if you've found someone, so maybe you've potentially initiated a relationship, or you've been proactive in seeking something or someone out, well, that's great. You've now got what you think is an ideal, but are you the ideal for them? And that's another question, isn't it? And again, it doesn't matter now whether that's the male or the female. The facts are relationships are work. And the trap, or the trap in any relationship, is me expecting that the other person has to do all the work, and me expecting that the other person has to do all the changes because somehow I'm okay. It's completely incorrect. It's never going to be that way. And one of the lessons we learn from life, and one of the lessons we learn just from the Bible, the only person that you're guaranteed to be able to change is yourself. You can encourage others, and you can input into others, and you can bless, you can build up others. But the only person that you're guaranteed to get results with is yourself. And that's actually your responsibility. That's, again, the whole concept of stirring yourself up in the things of God, and you laying hold of promises, you pushing in and getting breakthroughs. And the damage always is in a relationship where one person thinks that the other person has to do all the work without acknowledging their responsibility to do work upon themselves. And I didn't say much in the latter years of the marriage, but definitely in the early years of the marriage, marriage is, excuse me, marriage is actually one of the hardest things out there, and there's a lot of work involved. And I have work to do. The other partner has work to do. Whether the other partner does the work or not, I'm involved in that. I can encourage them. But realistically, the way I encourage them is by being the evidence of work in myself. That makes sense? Yes. Working on myself, let the fruit come. And then again, it's the whole leading by example thing. And in the relationship, any marriage relationship, the man has to lead by example in that area, and the lady has to lead by example in that area. And I've called men bullfeds and all that sort of stuff. I've joked about how thick we can be, and that's actually all really true, right? But the same is true for ladies. Ladies have their own traits that they can bring into a marriage, and it becomes just incredible, baggage. I mean, ladies can be quite bitchy. They can be very sharp with their words, gossip. There's a whole heap of stuff. And I'm not making stereotypes, but the reality is, guys and girls, we all have our own issues, and we do have to be working on those, and we have to be aware of them. We've got to acknowledge them when they're there, and you've got to be working on it. So if I want a good wife, then I actually have a responsibility and an obligation to be a good husband. If I want a great wife, then I've got to be a great husband. And then vice versa, ladies. If you want a great husband, you've got to be a great wife. It's actually the two becoming one, right? The two becoming one. The responsibility is not all on one foot. It's a together thing. And as I've said multiple times, I do believe the man has a greater level of accountability and responsibility before God. But I think once the two become one, a lot of those things are actually mutual in the interaction between man and woman. The interaction between the couple and God is also a mutual thing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I, as the man, do have a greater level of accountability before God. That doesn't allow me to be the boss and to be the bully and to be intimidating. That's not how it works. But I suppose just a short video to balance out the fact that, hey, it's not all bad for the blokes. Everyone's got a role. Everyone's got a responsibility to play. Just make sure you're doing yours, and make sure you're being the best possible husband or the best possible partner or the best possible wife that you can be, because that's the only way you'll get the best possible partner. If I'm the best possible husband I can be, I'll get the best possible wife I can have. But it's not an automatic thing. It's going to be determined by work, change, growth, development in the other one. And so you grow together, you grow with someone, you grow together, but there's still those aspects of individual challenge, and I have to take them, and the other partner has to take them. And I expect to change. I don't just expect my partner to change or my husband or my wife to change. I am expected to change. Amen. Everyone's in the game at the same time. So I don't know, just a little bit of a balanced view, because I don't want to come across like I'm picking on the guy, because I'm not. I'm definitely pro the lady, because I do think in many cases the men are the issues, but it's not always the truth. Sometimes, ladies, you're the issue. So everyone's just got to be open and honest and work on stuff that needs to be worked on. Amen. Simple as that. Have a great day. Bless you.